everyone, how's it going out there? Come to do another video on, what's this, well, anyhow, DB-x1. This is a 140cc dirt bike. I just did a video on it, and so I was talking to my lady after riding this here around a bit, and one thing that I wasn't expecting, because I was riding my other one, which is that one right there, that little red one, and I stretched the swing arm on it so the front end doesn't come up. Well, this one here obviously isn't stretched, and being used to the Piranha, this thing just kind of right up on me. So I was saying, all right, well, seeing how I have a welder, and this here is steel, I talked to my lady. I was like, what if I were to extend the swing arm? I mean, I've built a lot of neat things, out of steel. I mean, there's some pretty good projects like that one up there. And then I got those two over there. I built both of those two by hand, the whole frames and all. So I was thinking to myself, well, what about stretching the swing arm on this one? I mean, I got the chain, got plenty of chain to do that. All I'd have to do is maybe get a new brake line, which of course I already have brake line. I have, let's see, I got this one here. I got this one, got some other ones laying around. I think there's some up there on the wall. But if I need to get one, they're pretty cheap. That's not like, I wouldn't be able to afford it. It's, 10, 12 bucks maybe. So I was thinking to myself, well, why don't I just do that? And this one here, there's no place to put a guard on here. So I can weld on some tabs to put a rotor guard. And same thing on that side. If I want to use like more of like a Honda style or Yamaha or Kawasaki or KTM chain guide, I can get whichever one I want. Doesn't matter which one it is. Just whatever one I want, and redo the tabs on it to work with, this style of frame here or swing arm, and just weld the tabs on. I mean, that's super easy. And then I wouldn't even have to change out the suspension. It's tightened down about halfway, and it's pretty decent long. I mean, it goes right up to there, and then as you can see, all the way down to here. And the threads, they stop right here, right where that shiny part is right there. That's where the threads stop. So I was thinking to myself, well, I can cut this here off right there, and I got some more metal tubing, saved on my Amazon list. So I was thinking I can move that further this way, because when I stretch the swing arm, I want the seat height to stay exactly where it's at. So when I stretch that, it'll bring it, the swing arm up more the further I go out. So when it goes up more, that would change the position of this here to further out over here. Just a little bit, not by much. And then, of course, I put in my brace. I could try to save the decals if I can. If I can't, that's not a problem. You know, it's not the end of the world. But if I can, I will. I'll save these and just put them back on when it's all done. So what I would do is I would cut this right about here. Not exactly on here, but right about there. You know, right where that weld is. Cut it there. And even though this here has a kind of an angle right here, and it's kind of weird that it does. It has an angle right there and right here. It's kind of tapered a little. So what I'll do is extend it out. I would use a 1" by 2" rectangle tubing. Bring it out about roughly 10 inches, give or take a little. And then I have this metal bar right here. I already got it marked up. This here is 1" by 2" solid steel. That there is perfect for a swing arm like this, doing something like this. So I would cut this in half. And as you see, it's got pretty good length here. And I would shape it, buzz it down, shape it to where it has a taper on one side. Now the other side is perfectly flat, but on this side it's tapered. So I would buzz it down on this side and this side. Well, actually all the way around, because I have to knock it down a bit to be able to slide inside here. But once I knock it down a bit, then I would give it a taper on both sides so that it will slide in here. But also, I'm also going to do it to where only half of it is tapered, because the other half won't have a taper because it's 1" by 2" square tubing. So the other side won't need a taper. And then I can run that in there. It's not that difficult to do, but just time consuming, takes a little bit of thought. Sounds kind of sketchy the way I'm saying it. Forgive me for that. It's kind of late, but basically you drill a hole right about here. Nice little hole right there. Another one right here. Same thing on the other side. And when you slide the tubing in, you weld it up here. Weld it up here. Same thing on the other side. You weld it all across here. And then when you slide on the other 1" by 2" square tubing, you do the same thing right there. So the other half of this would go inside the other tubing. And then the reason for that, you know, to use something like this is support, strength. So when you run it in there, yeah, the chances of your weld breaking are way less. And you do the welds like that right here, drill hole, and on the other side, and you weld it up really good and you buzz it down. And that holds it in place in here while it's inside. And as long as you do it correctly and you get good penetration with your weld, that won't break. It won't break for nothing. Then on this end, when I go to weld this back on, when I go to weld this back on to the 2" square tubing, you just weld it up real nice. Get good penetration with your weld. Get it really good. And sand it down a bit. You know, now as you see here, this bike wasn't built, you know, great, but it'll hold. It holds my big old butt. So I figured, you know, all the bikes that I've ever built and modified held me just fine. So it's not my first time doing this with a metal swing arm. Normally it's aluminum, and I take the aluminum swing arms to a shop and have them done. I find it to be easier doing it like that because, well, I could weld, just not with aluminum. So anyhow, once the tire goes back, then I put in a support brace, all right? Now, when I put in the support brace, it normally I have it at either straight across or at an angle. I haven't decided how I'm going to do this one. My Piranha, I have it straight up and down. This one here, I'll probably do the same straight up and down. I'll just take one support beam going across, and there we go. Then it'll be perfectly good and ready to rock and roll. Then, of course, this piece here, carefully take that off, take off the suspension, cut that off, and then find out exactly where it needs to be without losing seat height, put the wheel on and all that, mark it, figure out exactly how it needs to be, put the tubing in there, weld it, and voila. Once all that is done, then I can go ahead, see if I can find a paint to match, or I'll just repaint it all the way around altogether. I do have some of these. I might get some more, but in aluminum. I think I have some up on the wall. I believe so. I ran across them the other day. Let's see. And they're behind something. I know that much is for sure. La da 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 da. Oh, maybe over. Well, they're somewhere. Let's see. Huh. Well, I know they're up on the wall somewhere, on one of these walls. Let's see. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, 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 nope. Well, I'll find them later. But, red ones, kind of like this here, just not as good, but still good. And what I'll do is take these off, see if these screws here will fit, and if they do, good. If they don't, then I'll use my tap and die and redo it and make them fit. See, if something doesn't work right, if it's not working the way you want it to work, tear it apart and make it work. That's how to do it. So that's what I was thinking of doing. I got the chain, the extra chain. I got most of everything I need except for the 1 inch by 2 inch metal tubing. I don't have that, but I do know where to get it. And everything else, shoot, I think I got, well, see that and the brake line and the metal tubing. That's all I'd really need. I got plenty of welding line, chain, everything that I need to get it all done up. I even got scrap metal, to do that. But I don't think I would need scrap metal to rebuild this here. I will just cut it off of there. And there's plenty of room in there down underneath, and I figured, okay, I can make that work. Just cut that off and sand it down, and there we go, and just move it, to where I need it to go. So anyhow, I was talking to my buddy, Kevin Patterson. You guys probably don't know him. That guy's, I swear, I was talking to him today. I think that guy actually tried to kill me the first time I went mountain biking with him. Actually, to be honest, I think the second time I went mountain biking with him too. I mean, I'm no doctor, but when you're exercising so hard and pushing yourself so hard that you taste blood in the back of your throat, something tells me that's not a good thing. So anyhow, I mean, the guy's really competitive. He rides dirt bikes, not like that, but more like that. But his is not a two-stroke. His is a KTM four-stroke. It's like a 450 or something like that. Anyhow, it's a big bike. He's a tall dude, so he rides a big old honking bike, but competitive, very competitive. He don't think he is, but he is. So I was talking to him about that, about the things that I've done to the bike, what I want to do to the bike, stretching the swing arm, all that stuff. And technically, it's really not a bad idea. I mean, how many of these bikes have you seen with a stretched swing arm? I mean, for the most part, price-wise, it'll probably cost me $60, about 60 to do that. Because I already got everything else. I mean, just, little supplies here and there to get it done. Yeah, about $60. Yeah, that's about how much it'll cost. So that's the plan for this bike. Everything else is working on it. I finally got the carburetor tuned up. Actually, I was out riding it earlier today, and I believe I forgot to turn off the gas. Yes, I did. Turn that off. There we go. So yeah, it rides good. Little on the torquey side, which, I like torque with, these bikes, because that's what's going to get my big butt up that damn hill. But having that much torque when I'm not expecting it, I'll stretch the swing arm. With these little bikes, I like doing that. I turn them into little hill climbers. It's really, I like doing that stuff. So let's see what else. Did put the tachometer on there. I have to reset it. I have to get on the internet and figure out how to reset those back to zero, if it's even possible. I don't even know. I did wrap the exhaust pipe. This here was originally black, and it's like a powder coat, and I didn't like that too much, so I buzzed that off. So yeah, I wrapped the pipe up. Got the carburetor working good, the exhaust working good. When I took it out today, it was my first time actually taking it out, and actually that was yesterday, first time taking it out. Went to hit the brake there, friggin' no brakes at all. I had to pump them up. I was like, what on earth? I had to use the front. I thank God I got that all done up, or I would have been screwed. I would have ended up in the fence. But got that working. Still kind of weirded out about, the shape of, this gas tank and the way it sits. See how it sits off to the side? I believe that's exactly how it was made, but why? Why was it made like that? That's just freaking weird. But it doesn't harm anything. I'm good with it. Oh, and another thing. If you look in here, I don't know if you could even see it in there. No, you can't. You can see kind of an edge of it, but I have a battery pack against the number plate, and that is for this light here. Actually, I'm waiting on a piece. Takes a quick release. The one I have is too short, so I ordered another one, and the reason why I ordered the other one is because I lost the longer one. Came with two. One short, one long. Well, I lost the longer one, so I just ordered a bicycle one. It's a little bit longer lever, but, you know, it'll work. So I ordered one of those for it. So that will mount basically. I have to figure out, oops, sorry. There we go. Hold on. It'll mount here, but I have to figure out something with these, with all the cables and all that. I could probably pull them up like that and run it right like that. That actually might work. Sorry, that didn't look right at all. I could run it right through there, and that should work. Oh yeah, I did put on these Velcro tie straps to, you know, keep the cable from just flopping all over the place. It's kind of weird that how they, you know, bring it out, how they send it. You know, there's nothing really to tie it down. It's just flopping everywhere, and the only thing that keeps it, you know, in place is this here. And this here, if you can get it to stay, I couldn't, you know, but there we go. Oh, I did take off the hand guards. I figure I'll use those when I go somewhere where there's brush. We ain't got brush over here. We ain't got trees. You know, we got, well, shoot, you know, around here, there ain't a whole lot of cactus either. I mean, here and there, yeah, but I figure when I go somewhere, I'll put them on, and, you know, there we go. So, anyhow, there we are. Wanted to update you guys on my plans with the bike. And, yeah, so there we go. So, thanks, guys, for watching. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll talk to y'all later.